The movie begins on a battlefield. A war is happening between the Divine Truth Cult and the Royal Army. Divine Truth is one of the strongest armies ever and is fighting to take over the capital. Among the Divine troops, there is a man known as the Freak. The Freak's real name is Liu Chan. Liu Chan is a talented warrior who has mastered many kung fu moves. Liu Chan has a small horn on his forehead. When this horn is hit, Liu Chan becomes a dangerous kung fu freak who destroys everything in his path. On the battlefield, Liu Chan carelessly stands with his head down and watches the ants. Another cult member gives Liu Chan a spear and asks him to fight. Liu Chan takes the spear and runs into the battle. He easily starts to defeat the enemy clan. Suddenly, another cavalry of enemy troops arrives at the battlefield. Seeing this, the leader of the Divine Cult orders a troop named Nan to hit Liu Chan on his head. Nan is worried for some reason and asks the leader to reconsider. The leader furiously replies to Nan to do as he is told. Nan runs to Liu Chan and punches him on his horn. The horn changes color and increases in size, turning Liu Chan into God mode. In the next scene, a flashback takes us back to 18 years. During birth, the Freak's mother, Shu Qi, shot him out of her womb like a missile. The Freak had a small growth on his head, and his mother named him Liu Chan. His mother believed that Liu Chan was destined for greatness. Liu Chan's father was a government official and felt ashamed of his son's abnormality. The father never paid any attention to his son or his wife. On the other hand, the mother loved Liu Chan dearly and cared for him alone. One day, when Liu Chan was 8 years old, he was enjoying himself at the town fair. At the fair, Liu Chan started watching a show where an old performer was showing his kung fu moves. Liu Chan was fascinated to see this and started imitating the moves. While he was busy watching the show, some kids stole his food and ran away. Liu Chan caught them, but the kids did not give him food back and bullied him. The kids hit Liu Chan on his horn, and he fell. Suddenly, Liu Chan got up and started kicking those kids' butts using the kung fu moves he saw moments ago. The old master who performed the kung fu moves earlier came to Liu Chan to stop him, but Liu Chan pushed him away with his moves. The master was greatly impressed by Liu Chan's power. After beating everyone, Liu Chan fell unconscious on the ground. Meanwhile, Liu Chan's mother was caught by her husband for stealing his money. The husband was furious with her. She told her husband that she only stole the money for Liu Chan's welfare, but her husband had never cared for his child from the beginning. He beat his wife and the servants threw her out of the house. Liu Chan was being followed by the kung fu master when Liu Chan saw her mother being thrown out of her house. After some time, Liu Chan's mother told him that she could not take care of him anymore. The Kung Fu master introduced himself to Liu Chan's mother. He told the mother that his name was Zhao, and he saw great potential in Liu Chan. Zhao said that the horn on Liu Chan's head is called 3 blossoms on the crown, and is a gift from God. The horn meant that Liu Chan could master any kung fu by just looking at it. Zhao asked her to entrust her son to him so that he could teach kung fu to Liu Chan. The mother agreed, saying that he was the only one who saw potential in Liu Chan other than her. The mother advised Liu Chan to do this one thing right in his life, and he died. Liu Chan and Master Zhao buried her and left. 10 years later, we are back in the present, and Liu Chan is standing on the battlefield. We learn that Master Zhao is the master of arms of the Divine Cult. Sometimes he disguises himself as a street performer to recruit new troops for his cult. When Nan hits Liu Chan on his horn, turning him into God mode, Liu Chan almost defeats the enemy alone. After the battle, Liu Chan is unconscious, and Nan takes him to a tent where the injured soldiers are being treated. Nan lays Liu Chan down and asks the healer named Master Dong to treat him. When Liu Chan wakes up, Master Dong warns him to stop practicing his kung fu. He advises Liu Chan to never let anyone touch his horn, otherwise his life will be in danger. He tells Liu Chan that his master only cares about winning the battles and does not care about the lives of his soldiers. Liu Chan says that according to his master, the more he practices kung fu, the more powerful he will become. Master Dong informs Liu Chan that his current kung fu style will only deplete his internal energy and shorten his life. The horn on his head has turned from red to purple. When the horn turns black, Luchan will die. His only option is to learn internal martial arts to alter his internal energy channels. Master Dong informs him that he can only learn it from the Chen village. Suddenly, Master Zhao enters and orders Master Dong to treat Luchan instead of talking about Chen-style kung fu. Master Zhao does not want to send Luchan away. Master Dong and Zhao start arguing, which turns into a fight. Master Dong easily defeats Zhao using Chen-style kung fu. At night, when the soldiers are sleeping in their tents, the enemy attacks. Luchan gets out of his tent to help, but all the tents are on fire, and most of the divine troops are dead. Suddenly, he sees Master Dong with an arrow in his back. He runs to him to help. Master Dong advises Luchan to find Chen's village and beg Master Chen to teach him Chen-style kung fu. It is the only way he can save his life. After saying this, Master Dong dies in Luchan's arms. His troop member Nan informs him that Master Zhao is dead and asks him to run away and save his life. Soon, the whole divine cult is masquerade, but Luchan manages to escape and save himself. Later, Luchan reaches the Chen village after traveling long and crossing mountains. When he asks a villager for the address of Master Chen, the villager informs him that they don't teach Chen-style kung fu to outsiders. The same happens as he goes to other villagers too. Suddenly, a steam engine-run car hit Luchan, and he fell to the ground. A lady from the car gets down and asks Luchan if he is all right. Luchan does not answer. The lady tells him that he can come to her if he ever needs anything. There, a man from the nearby shop asks to give his regards when Master Chen arrives. Apparently, the lady is named Chen Yunyang and is the daughter of Master Chen. The man in the car is Fang Zijing and is the fiancé of Niang. When Luchan hears the name of Master Chen, he gets up to talk to Niang, but she has already left in the car. In the village, Niang's older brothers are testing the machinery invented by Fang to create electricity. Fang is the new chief engineer of railways. They don't like Fang very much because he is more intelligent and likes Western culture. At night, Niang calls a meeting in the town hall. In the meeting, she tells the villagers that Fang has become the chief engineer of railways and brought honor to their village. Now, Fang addresses the people and teaches them what a train is. He plans to place the railway tracks in the middle of the village and inform them of its benefits. A grand uncle in the meeting expresses his concern for the villagers. Now, instead of addressing the concerns, Fang begins to demonstrate his invention of electricity. Using the machine that Niang's brothers were testing earlier, he lights up the bulbs in the hall. Suddenly, all the bulbs explode due to high voltage and a fire starts in the hall. The villagers rush out of the hall to save them. The grand uncle leaves by telling Fang that nothing good will come from foreigners' stuff. The next day, Niang opens her shop and starts making tea. Suddenly, Luchan approaches her. She gives him money. Luchan says that he does not want money. Luchan tells her that he wants to learn Chen-style kung fu, but he hears Niang's reply that it is not taught to outsiders. He asks Niang to introduce him to Master Chen. To get rid of him, Niang gives him the address of a mountain, saying he will find Master Chen there. Luchan runs to the address but does not find Master Chen there. Meanwhile, Niang shows her friends a coffee machine. Soon, Luchan comes back to Niang. Niang is surprised to see him back so soon. Luchan is angry and asks her to tell him where Master Chen is. When he forces Niang, she uses her Chen Kung Fu and throws him out of her shop. In the next scene, when Luchan wakes up, he hangs upside down. He sees a man in front of him. The man puts him down and says that he hanged him to stop the bleeding from his nose. Luchan asks this man if he can teach him Chen-style kung fu. The man says he is just a laborer and does not know any kung fu. Luchan asks him if he knows about Master Chen and says he wants to become Master Chen's student. Pointing towards the horn, the laborer asks Luchan if he wants to learn kung fu to cure his ailment. Luchan says yes and tells him that his mother wanted him to learn every kung fu. The laborer tells him that the horn has turned black and he will die soon, so there is no future for him here. Saying this, the laborer climbs a steep wall and leaves. At night, Niang goes to Fang to cheer him up after today's incident. Niang says that villagers will take time to accept the railway in their village, but if Niang and Fang got married, the task would become easy. Fang is worried because he told his governor that the task would be done in 10 days. Fang talks about how he grew up in this village, but no one respected him or taught him kung fu because he was not born here. Fang gets angry and destroys the music player. He leaves, saying that they are not good enough because he is an outsider and she is the daughter of the Grandmaster. The next morning, Niang writes a letter to Fang advising him not to rush things about the railway and to forget about their marriage, but she is again interrupted by Lu Chan. She asks him if he is not afraid of dying. Lu Chan tells her that once he learns Kung Fu, he won't be afraid of anything. Niang takes her anger out on him and beats him with her Chen Kung Fu moves. She throws him out of the village and warns him to never enter again. Later that day, Fang arrived at the governor. The governor tells Fang that he has let him down. Fang says that the company has put him under much pressure and sent a foreign consultant to monitor them. At the same time, a woman named Claire arrives there. She tells the governor that the railway company has sent her to overcome the difficulties faced by Fang. Fang says that Claire has not come alone. She has brought with her a big steam-driven railroad machine. Meanwhile, Lu Chan, sitting outside the village, remembers his mother's last words. His mother had advised him to learn Kung Fu and give his best, so he decides to enter the village again. When he does, he is defeated by a different villager each time. But when he fights them, he starts to memorize their moves and mimic them later. The laborer sees him mimicking and advises Lu Chan to defeat the villagers using their moves against them. After that, Lu Chan again enters the village. This time, he is faced by a man called Brother Tofu. Brother Tofu is holding a tofu in one hand. He challenges Lu Chan, saying if Lu Chan hits this tofu out of his hand, then Lu Chan wins. Lu Chan accepts, and the fight begins. The villagers gather around to watch the fight. Eventually, Lu Chan hits tofu out of the hand and wins the fight. Niang also sees that Lu Chan has successfully mimicked Chen-style Kung Fu. Lu Chan runs to the laborer to tell him that he won, but faints along the way. Suddenly, Fang arrives with his big railway machine. He reads a notice saying that the villagers have 7 days to leave their houses. If they fail to do so, they will be forced out of their homes to lay the railway tracks. Niang's brother says that they are not afraid of this big machine. Seeing this, Fang signals Claire inside the machine, and they destroy a nearby house with the big mechanical arms of the machine. Niang tells Fang that this is their home and asks him to leave with his machine, but Fang refuses to leave. Later in the town hall, Niang asks the villagers why they did not speak against Fang. Niang's brother tells her that only their father, who is the Grandmaster, can deal with such problems. Niang says that their father always disappears when something goes wrong. She says that he runs away from his responsibilities. Meanwhile, in the machine, the workers are preparing to lay the tracks. Claire tells Fang she knows why he wants to return to this village. It is because of love for Niang. Claire seems jealous of Niang. Claire says that she came all the way from Britain for him, but he loves Niang. Fang tries to convince her that he only cares about their mission. Claire gives him an instruction manual to run the machine and decides to leave. Later, when Lu Chan wakes up, he goes to the laborer. The laborer informs him that a house-eating monster has arrived and will soon destroy Chen's villa, and his dreams of learning Chen Kung Fu will be finished. The laborer tells him that even Master Chen cannot defeat this monster. The laborer devises a plan for Lu Chan to enter the machine and destroy it. In this way, he will become a hero to the villagers, and they will agree to teach him their Kung Fu. Lu Chan happily agrees to the plan. At night, Fang goes to Claire's tent. There, he expresses his love for her.
Listen, I've always loved you.
Niang is hiding at the top of the tent and hears everything. She jumps into the tent. Fang feels sorry for her. Niang secretly grabs the machine's instruction manual and leaves the tent. She goes to a man to translate the manual for her. The following morning, Lu Chan manages to enter the machine with the help of the laborer. Inside, he fights a few workers. He is about to be killed by a worker when Niang suddenly arrives and saves his life. They find the engine and plan to destroy it. Meanwhile, Claire and Fang also enter the machine. Fang begs Niang to stop, but she does not stop and destroys the engine. Suddenly, a fire starts in the machine. Niang and Lu Chan manage to escape. Fang also gets out but realizes that Claire is injured and bleeding. Unfortunately, Claire dies in his arms. Niang and Lu Chan go to the villagers to give them the good news. The villagers start chanting hero to Lu Chan. He stops them and asks if he can learn Kung Fu now. He tells them that the laborer said they would allow him to learn if he became their hero. Suddenly, Master Chen comes out of the town hall, and Lu Chan realizes that Master Chen is in fact the laborer in disguise. Lu Chan asks him if he will teach him Kung Fu, but Master Chen refuses to teach. He explains that he wanted Lu Chan to destroy the machine and did not want any villagers to be involved. But Niang involved herself, and now Claire is dead. He advises the villagers to prepare for the troops arriving soon to attack their village. After that, Master Chen prepares the villagers for battle. He advises them not to kill the soldiers, but to drive them away. The next morning, Fang arrives at the village with an army of soldiers, but they are confused after seeing no one around. Suddenly, the villagers attack them and throw fruits at them. Fang demands the villagers to hand over Niang and Lu Chan to them. Niang and Lu Chan come out and start fighting the soldiers. A soldier fires at Niang, and Lu Chan gets shot while trying to save Niang. Lu Chan drops to the ground and faints. Seeing this, Master Chen comes out and single-handedly defeats all the soldiers. He grabs Fang and throws him flying on the ground. The soldiers grab Fang and leave the village. Later in the town hall, the elders discuss what they should do about Lu Chan. Lu Chan has learned Chen-style kung fu by mimicking the moves of villagers. The grand-uncle thinks that Lu Chan has stolen their kung fu. Niang argues that Lu Chan learned his moves in broad daylight and in front of everyone, so that is not a theft. But the grand-uncle disagrees, saying that it's still a theft. Master Chen points to 3 blossoms on the crown on Lu Chan's head and says that he wanted to save Lu Chan's life because of this, but never taught him any moves. The grand-uncle decides that the only solution is to kill Lu Chan. Niang asks her father to save Lu Chan, but her father tells her that only she can save him. When the grand-uncle is about to kill Lu Chan with a sword, Niang suddenly stops him. She announces to marry Lu Chan. In this way, he will not be an outsider anymore, and the elders won't have to kill him. She asks her father if he agrees to this. Her father seemed all right with her decision and left after telling her that it was for her to make this decision. After that, the grand-uncle spears Lu Chan's life. Meanwhile, the governor has imprisoned Fang. In the village, the marriage ceremony starts, and the whole village celebrates. In a post-credit scene, we see 2 mysterious warriors trying to break into the village. The foreign soldiers are also bringing cannons to destroy Chen's village.